Good day, everyone. Especially to you, ma'am. I'm Criscia Autentico, and today I'm going to discuss to you the Chapter 9 of Philippine Tourism Laws, which is the laws regulating travel and tour services. But before that, let me read to you this first. With the advancement of the technology, travelers can now book their travel arrangements through the internet. While this provides quicker and cheaper access to good tour packages, much of the business of the travel and tour sector has been adversely affected. It is from Paul So, President, Greater Manila Travel Association. And now, let me introduce to you to our topic outline. First is the nature and description of the business. Second is accreditation of the travel agencies and the tour operators. Third is accreditation of tour guides. Lastly, the provision against engaging in recruitment activities. In the end of this module, our learning objectives is first, enumerate the procedure in setting up a travel agency. Second, identify the responsibilities of a legitimate travel agency or tour operator. Third is differentiate ethical from unethical practices by travel agencies and tour operators. And lastly, give examples of issues, concerns, and problems of travel agencies and tour operators may have in the conduct of their business. As part of our tourism industry, the pivotal role of travel agencies is regarded as revenue support of the nation's economy. Considering that our tourism industry has already become a matter of public interest, it calls for its promotion and regulation by our government. The laws regulating travel and tour services in this chapter involve implementing rules and regulations by the Department of Tourism and Supreme Court decisions, which define the nature of the business and of the travel agency and tour operator. Likewise, a background on the validity of e-ticketing and booking customers by virtue of RA 8792, also known as the Electronic Commerce Law, has been included. And now let me introduce to you our first topic, which is the nature and description of the business. Tour operator shall mean an entity which may either be a single proprietorship or partnership or a corporation regularly engaged in the business of extending to individuals or groups such as services pertaining to arrangements and bookings for transportation and or accommodation, handling and or conduct of inbound tours, whether or not for a fee, commission, or any form of compensation. Tour guide shall mean an individual who guides tourists, both foreign and domestic, for a fee or commission or any other form of lawful remuneration. A travel agency is convened with its customers to make travel arrangements in their behalf. A travel agency's services includes procuring tickets and facilitating travel permits or visas, as well as booking customers for tours. The relations of the travel agencies with respect to a common carrier is that merely act as the agent for the common carrier. Under Public Act number 8239, also known as the Philippine Passport Act of 1996, renewal of application for the issuance of passports may be filed by any licensed travel agency duly accredited by the Department of Foreign Affairs, provided that the agent shall be responsible for the authenticity of the supporting documents being presented to meet the requirements for the application of passports. And now down to our second topic, which is the accreditation of travel agencies and tour operators. Section 2. Who may apply for accreditation? The following may apply for accreditation as tour operator and travel agencies. A resident Filipino citizen. B. A partnership organized under the laws of Philippines, at least 60% of its capital being owned by Filipino citizens. And lastly, C. The corporations organized under the laws of Philippines, at least 60% of the subscribed common on or voting shares of stock of which is owned by Filipino citizens, and the compensation of its board directors at being at least 60% Filipinos. In Section 3, for purposes of accreditation, the following are the supporting documents to be submitted with the applications. A. In case of a single proprietorship, a business name, certificate, and all amendments thereto is. In the case of partnership or corporation, is certified true copy of the articles of partnership, incorporation and its bylaws, and amendments thereto, dollar registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. B. Complete list of its executive officers and employees, tour guide and travel representatives, if any, indicating their nationality, home address, and experience, including names and establishments previously or currently affiliated with position and length of service, showing following. First is, in the case of the manager, proof that he has at least 3 years managerial experience in the tour operators or operations, or has earned a degree in Bachelor of Science in Tourism, or has successfully completed a tour operator's course. Second is proof that at least 2 of the permanent staff have at least 2 years experience in tour operations. C. For alien officers and employees, valid visa for the Bureau of Immigration and the proper permit from the Department of Labor and Employment. D is contract of lease or contract to lease the office space intended for the use of the agency, or in the absence thereof, a warrant statement by the lessor or lessor that said agency is lessee of the office building, stating the area thereof. E is the mayor's permit or the municipal license. F is the latest income tax return and the audited financial statements reflecting a minimum working capital of 500,000 pesos. G is an annual performance report on the sales production and tariff sheet detailing services, rates, validity, terms and conditions, and responsibilities. And lastly, H is such other documents that the department may acquire from time to time. In Section 4, additional requirements for the tour operator using a motor vehicle. No tour operator shall use any motor vehicle while conducting tours or transporting tourists unless such motor vehicle is accredited with the department and sporting a tourist plate. And Section 5 is minimum office requirements. The tour operator shall comply with the following office requirements. First is, it shall be located in the commercial district and not in a residential district. Second is, it must be easily identifiable and shall be used exclusively for the tour operation business. In the accreditation under the International Air Transport Association, or the IATA, we have accredited 2 distinctive types of travel agencies, which are the airline appointed agencies holding ticket stock or capable of ticketing, and all other categories of travel agencies called travel sales intermediary or TSI agencies. Essential to both programs is to set objectives with appropriate business standards that travel agencies must meet. In airline appointed services, when a travel agency is appointed by the airlines through ITAN, the owner enters into an agency agreement with one or more ITAN 79 customer airlines. Each airline sets its own standards for appointing travel agencies, and each airline may select any number of appointment criteria. Travel agency receive remuneration generally in the form of commissions or the sale of air transportation services. The rate of commission is set between the individual agency and each airline. Any travel agency holding standards and or airline ticket stock or capable of e-ticketing may apply as a airline appointed agency. The standard for the accreditation will be based on the following, which is first, managerial qualifier, the technical qualifier and premises. D is the financial capability, and lastly is the security standards. And now let's proceed to the travel sales intermediary, or the TSI. A travel sales intermediary is a business for proprietorship, partnership, or corporation that is engaged in the sale and/or brokerage of travel and travel-related services such as cruise, tours, hotels, car rentals, bus, and rail station transportation. These ICE do not hold airline agencies appointments or issue airline tickets. Any business who wish to obtain accreditation by ITAN as a TSI is required to meet the following standards. A. The owner of the business has been registered with ITAN for 2 of the 3 years and was eligible for an ITAN ID card and earned at least $20,000 in each of those 2 years from the sale of travel and travel-related services, or the business is considered a home-based travel agency operating from your residence in accordance with the local and state laws, and the owner has invested or has committed to invest in the minimum of $10,000 in the travel business, or business has been in operation for. And now let's proceed to our next topic, which is the accreditation of tour guides. In Section 9, requirements for issuance of accreditation, an applicant for accreditation as tour guide shall submit the following. First, A. For proof that the applicant has passed a seminar for tour guides duly conducted by the Department of Tourism or other agencies duly authorized by the Department to conduct the seminar, provided, however, that this requirement may be waived by the department where the applicant possesses special academic or profession qualification relevant to tourism. B is certificate of good health issued by any duly accredited government position. C is clearance from the National Bureau of Investigation in case of alien applicants, valid visa from the Bureau of Immigration, and the proper permit from the Department of Labor and Employment. And D is the mayor's permit or municipal license. E is latest income tax, and lastly is the such other documents that the department may require from time to time. And now let's proceed to the responsibilities of business entities engaged in travel and tour services. Travel agencies need to take necessary precautions of exercising prudence and due diligence at all times. Under the present state of the law, extraordinary diligence is not required in travel or tour contracts. However, the travel agency, acting as a tour operator, must nevertheless be held with strict accounting for the contracted services, considering the public interest in tourism, whether the local or the international scene. Moreover, a tour guide is supposed to attend the itinerary needs of the tourists, not only when the latter would ask for the assistance, but the moment such need becomes apparent. In other words, the tour guide, especially by reason of his experience in previous tours, must be able to anticipate the possible needs and problems of the tourists instead of waiting for them to bring it to his attention. While this is stating the obvious, it is the tour guide's duty to see to it that the basic personal necessities such as soap, towels, and other daily amenities are provided by the hotels. It is also expected of such tour guide to see to it that the tourists are provided with the sanitary surroundings and to actively arrange for medical attention in case of accidents, illness, or discomfort. Failure to exercise prudence and due diligence in the supervision of its employees may hold the tour operator liable for moral and explanatory damages by reason of the anxiety caused to tourists, especially when mispresentations were made on tour packages, or by reasons of incompetence or lack of experience of tour guides who have not traveled yet in places of which tour packages are being offered. And for our next topic is the prohibition against engaging in recruitment activities. Article 26, Labor Code of the Philippines, travel agencies prohibited to recruit travel agencies and sales agencies for airline companies are prohibited from engaging in business of recruitment and placement of workers for overseas employment, whether for profit or not. In addition, that the rule and regulations governing overseas employment provide for the following who are disqualified to participate in the recruitment and placement of Filipino workers overseas. First is travel agencies and sales agents of airline companies. Second is officers or members of the board of any corporation or members in the partnership engaged in the business of a travel agencies. And lastly, the corporations and partnerships when any of its officers or members of the board of or partner is also an officer, member of the board of or partner of the corporation or partnership engaged in the business of a travel agency. And for our last topic, which is the e-ticketing and e-commerce. E-ticketing is one of the most significant opportunities to reduce and cost improve passenger convenience. It reduces ticket processing charges, eliminates the needs of paper, and allows greater flexibility to the passenger and the travel agent to make changes in the itinerary. Under Public Act Number 8792 June 14, 2000, as also known as the electronic commerce, as an electronic document refers to information to other representation of information, data, figures, symbols, or other models of written expression, describe of however represented by which right is established or an obligation extinguished, or by which a fact may have proved that affirm, and which is received, recorded, transmitted, stored, processed, and retrieved or produced electronically. Consequently, electronic documents shall have the legal effect, validity, or enforceability as any other document or legal writing, provided the said electronic document maintains its integrity and reliability and can be authenticated so that to be useful for subsequent reference for evidentiary purposes. An electronic document shall be a function equivalent of a written document under existing laws. And that's it for my report. Again, I'm Criscia, and thank you for listening. Have a good day.